when the government talks about inflation, right? Like last week they said, oh, it's 2.8%, ex food and energy. What does that mean? How many of us don't eat and buy gas? Although they do keep the inflation numbers separately for those. And that's the chart. So that's what's happened to food. Food is a necessity. We need to sustain ourselves. I mean, you can eat junk food, you can eat good food. If you eat good food from Whole Foods, you know what you're going to pay, right? If you just can afford to go to the market, just average market and buy your stuff, but we got to eat, right? I mean, we're human. We got water and food. First water, right? All right. So the government says X food and energy. Well, do these people in Washington don't eat and drive? Is that what happens? I'm not sure. I think so. That's the disconnect that exists between Washington and the American people. So food prices in the U.S. reached a new all-time high in July. Okay, this is the graph. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. It's going. So most graphs, if this was a chart or stock, I would love it. Going from lower left to upper right. Beautiful. Nice and steady. 45-degree angle. Beautiful. Well, no, this is bad. On items like this, food prices, gas prices, maintenance prices, insurance prices, they're like this. Insurance is like this almost, not parabolic. And that's inflation. Well, we got to keep pace with this inflation. Are we making 10, 15, 20% more each single year to keep pace with inflation, but also have something left over for savings so we can invest and do other things with? I don't know. So here's the chart. Fed, where is your 2.8%? Oh, it's X food and energy. By the way, do you guys know what's in the actual inflation basket? To make that number look like that, by the way, talk about gaslighting. They change the basket all the time. Well, not all the time, not frequently, but last time they changed it, they put in computer parts, computer chips, cell phone chips. This is no joke. You guys can go look at it, Google it if you don't believe me. I mean, they have so many different baskets that they put out there that I'm like, the basket you put out has no food or energy in it. How should I trust that basket? How many computer chips do I buy? How many airplane parts do I buy? Doesn't make sense, right? Well, go look at the one with the food prices in it. Go look at the one with the rent prices in it. Go look at the one with the, car and home insurance prices in it. Then you guys will understand what when I say inflation is running 6 to 7% per year. That's when you guys will understand what's happening. But then, yeah, you guys have the money. $100 in your pocket 10 years ago is nothing like $100 today, right? So anyway, over the last decade, food prices and at home and away. Decade, okay, this is just food price inflation, are up 30 and 51% respectively. So if you go eat out every year, you're paying 5% more for your junk food or your good food. That's 51% decade divided by 10, 5.1%. And at home, if you're cooking it at home, you're saving yourself something, but it's still going up 3% per year, right? Think about it. So on average, let's say if you eat 50% at home, 50% out, you're losing 4% of your dollar's buying power on food every year. Is your paycheck going up 4% a year? Just to keep pace with this, so you can eat. We're not talking about like luxury here. We're not talking caviar. We're talking about eat, chicken, meat, whatever. Okay. Since 2020, the food prices, this is since 2020 now, 4 years ago, since the pandemic, the food prices at home and away increased 22%, and away from home increased 27%. So now this is 4 years. 22 divided by 4 is 5.5. And 27 divided by 4 is 6. Every time you go eat out, you guys notice this now? If you go to even just a McDonald's by family of 4 and get like some food, it's like $80 to $100 now, right? You go buy like a Big Mac meal or something, it's $15, $18 now. Think about it, okay? I mean, it's out of control. At the same time, the transportation, which is what I talked about in the past segment, in transportation and housing has risen 27 and 24% respectively. So now look, since 2020, at home food up 22%, away from home food up 27%, transportation up 27%, housing up 24%. Each one is up 5 to 7% a year, and that's where my 6 to 7% a year inflation comes in, because These are the things that we use the most. Government. We don't buy airplane parts. How many cell phones do we buy? How many computer chips do we buy? No, we buy these things every week, every month. And if that's up 5, 6, 7% on each individual case, are we making 5, 6, 7% more per year? This is per year. I don't think so. But that's why you need to have your finances in order. That's why you need to invest, because if you had invested in those 4 years, dollar cost average into an S&P 500, that would be up 9, 10, 11%. Well, take this inflation out, now have a net return of 3, 4%. At least you didn't lose value. You protected your money. Okay, you guys have to figure this out yet. So all as the US dollar has lost nearly 25% of its purchasing power in 4 years. So it's kind of very, very similar. So dollar is losing its value, its buying power, and whatever you're buying is going up. That's called inflation. And again, they always put sentences at the end, which I just finished my topics with because I can't say it better. Basic necessities have never been less affordable. There you go, people.